TV. In case you have just joined, I'm Robert Chirabonyonyi. Welcome to Good Morning Uganda Extra. Now, this is an extension of our morning show, Good Morning Uganda. We are here always at 6:30 every weekday. You're rest assured that you'll start your day with us with a lot of humor, yet very informative discussions, and you can't afford to miss that. Well, it is fairly a bright morning, looking outside my studio windows here, and I know it is fairly easy for you to get to your work destination. But also, in case you're late, well, please ensure you have justifying excuses. Now, allow me to go to today's topic, which is another issue of discussion, more so when it comes to academia and Makerere University. We are going to be looking at the endowment fund of Makerere University, and joining me on set to discuss this, I have Turihaire Karen, who happens to be the communications officer, Makerere University Endowment Fund, and I expect also to be joined by the chairperson, board of trustees of this fund, Dr. Professor Maggie Chigozi. She'll be joining us anytime from now. Most welcome, Karani, to the studios.
Thank you very much, and thank you for hosting us, the Makerere University Endowment Fund, on this very important show. Thank you so much.
Now, to begin with, this may sound new to very many people. When we talk about the endowment fund, let's understand, what then is this?
Thank you for that question. An endowment fund is pretty much an aggregation of assets of the university that they set aside to sustainably finance the university in the distant future. So what we do is save some resources, invest them, and ensure that the sustainability of the funding of the university goes on for a much longer time in the future. This, of course, is not a new idea. It's not a new innovation. This is ongoing across the world. Although this is pretty much the first in East and Central Africa for universities to create an endowment fund. But if you look at, for example, the US, you'll find like Harvard University or Yale have endowment funds worth $30 million US. So this is the direction we want to take. We want to ensure that lecturers are not striking, students are not striking, that the financing model of Makerere University is sustainable and is self-dependent. Yes.
Now, this brings me to the core objectives of this fund. Yes, you've talked about having a fund and money there, but what are the core objectives of this?
Thank you very much. In 2014, the University Council of Makerere set up what they call the Makerere University Endowment Fund, and has basically three core objectives. One is to mobilize resources, stroke funds for the benefit of the university. So that's one is resource mobilization. Secondly, we have to invest these funds in a safe and accommodative way, in a way that is rewarding the university, in a way that we make interest that can sustainably finance the university. Third objective is that when we've made that kind of interest on the amount of money we've mobilized and invested, then we want to support initiatives that support the university objectives. These initiatives can be fundraising or funding scholarships. We want to fund research. We want to fund infrastructure development at the university, and very many other things that really feed into the core objective of why a university is in place currently. So pretty much we have three core objectives as a university endowment fund, and this is what we seek to actualize as our mandate as a university endowment fund.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now, that said, the three core mandates, also, what are the benefits of this fund to a university like Makerere? Having said not so many universities actually have this.
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. One, like I've already insinuated and asserted, we need sustainability in financing the university. We have had certain shortfalls. We have had strikes sometimes. We've had people who are generally not comfortable with the amount of money they're getting as salaries, for example, for staff. We have people, students who are from very poor backgrounds but are smart, and when supported can be very transformational to this country and the world. So we look at, that's how we see the fund supporting the university. We also want to focus so much on infrastructure development. Some of our infrastructure, the university is not up to the standard we require and we desire. And so we want to create some sort of financing that looks out for this kind of project to be supported. The other area we want to considerably look at is research. Makerere is no doubt a research hub, and over the years it has contributed to very innovations over the university. For example, we've seen very recently the students and staff at Makerere launching what they call the Mark Solar Cooker. The Mark Solar Cooker inevitably grabs the sun, turns into it energy, which can be used for cooking, which is very groundbreaking in the sense that we are looking at a green energy, we are looking at a sustainable future, we are even protecting the health of those who use these kind of cooking methods that affect the kind of smoke that comes out, is emitted, is both dangerous to our bodies but also the environment. So we want to create, and we also heard about Kira EV. Kira EV is the first solar car to be designed and automated here in Africa. So we want to support such research innovations, initiatives, to continue flying the flag of Makerere University high up there on the continent and in the world.
From the side of you, most when you talk about Makerere University, the ordinary Ugandan visitor, like, you're never short of money. People look at government input. People know private education at university is hell a lot of money. And from the ordinary perspective, one would think, how would a university like Makerere, when talk about research, there are so many programs funded by World Bank, there are so many projects there that are funded Makerere University. So one would think, but you have sufficient lecturers there, professors write proposals, you hear research. One time I was in a country very far from Uganda, and a Ugandan professor at Makerere came with groundbreaking research in agriculture. And he was delivering this paper, and this was so excited. They wanted to take the project on. Until I told someone, but back home, my farmers know nothing about this thing you're cherishing at an international event. But then later, the man told him, but you see, the funds came from the international community, these donors. So people have a feeling you don't lack money. Maybe your priorities are not right, but you don't lack money.
Thank you for that question, and I'm glad that you raised the funding bit at the very end. I think it pretty much answers the question. We've been able to mobilize a good amount of funds from Makerere University, without a doubt. But the ability, the potential of the university has not been harnessed as much as it could be. The potential is wide. If I'm telling you about Kira EV producing an electric vehicle here in Uganda, that means we can afford so much more if extra funding, if extra utilization of resources, if people, Ugandans and people who have been to Makerere, come back to support the university. Of course, we get funding. We get funding from outside there. We get funding even from internally. I can tell you UNDP and UN agencies always support us. But I can also say the fact that these are not enough funds, number one. But also, number two, is that we must create domestic avenues through which we fund the universities. We should not over-rely on foreign funding to be able to do things that we desire. And you should also be aware of the fact that when we get foreign funding, it's mostly tied to what the funders are interested in and not what is actually important and relevant to our circumstances here in Uganda, but also on the African continent. So why we need more money, especially generated internally or domestically within Uganda, is that we are championing innovations and initiatives that are relevant to what Ugandans desire. We are championing research innovations that make the ordinary life of a Ugandan easier. I've told you about the Mark Solar Cooker. This, when commercialized and put on the market, benefits even the person on the ground at the LOC1 level. So this research can be relevant, this innovation can be relevant, and make lives much, much more easier to live here in Uganda.
Now, the question is, who are you looking at? What avenues have you put in place? A fund means money. where are you going to get the money?
Thank you very much. Makerere, and you should be aware, Makerere has a whole community of people. And the core of these are the students, but also people who have studied from Makerere, who are the alumni. So of course, our core constituency, people who are supporting that Makerere University, even at the moment, are alumni who have had the benefit of getting high quality education from Makerere University. But secondly, they've harnessed the education they've received to make even greater things out there in the world. So some of these, we are calling them upon them to come support the university, to give back to the university that made them. So those are the alumni. And the initiatives we put in place, for example, is what we call the Mark Advance system. The Mark Advance system is a digital software system that is multi-purpose. One, it is hosting a digital alumni database. We are looking to create a connection, a community of Makerere alumni and students and community that can ably support the university. So we have an e-alumni database. Whereas Makerere is aware of the names of students and what they studied over the years, we want to create some sort of connection. We want to get updated contacts. How do we reach you? How do we share with you the good things that are happening at Makerere? But also, how do we understand what is happening? What are our alumni up to? Our alumni are into very many groundbreaking things all over the world, in politics, in business, in governance, in health. They're doing so many great things. We want to share these things with the world. So that is one of the avenues we have put in place. But secondly, I want to share that we are organizing a Makerere centenary run in celebration of 100 years, and this is going to be towards constructing a student center. A student center is meant to create and promote innovation and good workspaces for the students. Secondly, the student center, we also have what we call a disability support unit. A disability support unit is, I think, core to enhancing experiences to our colleagues, friends and brothers and sisters who are living with disabilities. If you have technology that can support their academics and help them research and make generally it easier for them to achieve what they desire as well. So that is what we are looking at as a University Endowment Fund.
Okay. We're still looking at the University Endowment Fund of Makerere University, where the call most of members of the alumni is to come and support this fund because there's so much. Now, what are those causes that the public, the alumni, should contribute to?
Thank you. One of the causes we've highlighted as the Makerere University Endowment Fund is what we call the student center that I've just explained. But secondly, we also are starting a girls scholarship fund at the university. This fund looks at supporting young girls and students that are at Makerere but are unable to pay their school fees, their tuition and dues and functional fees. So these young, brilliant girls can be supported to achieve their dreams, to reach their actual potential. So, and a question might come up, why we're supporting boys? But we know culturally, girls are still at the lower end. They're the least priority. When the funds are not enough at home, it's possible that boys will be supported to continue in school and girls be married off. And this is still happening across all the corners of Uganda. So we want to look at girls in science, technology, engineering, and math and support them to reach their actual potential. So alumni out there, Makerere community out there, if you can support, please support the Girls Scholarship Fund, which really could be very fruitful for our girls, generally speaking.
Now, we've talked about this fund, and the issue is support. How is this fund going to be handled, this fund? Because there are concerns or worries that levels of integrity, corruption, we've had scandals. Is there a specific institution going to be manning this? Is there involvement of the alumni? Not just so that we are contributing money, we are contributing money in the spirit of the university, welfare investments and all that.
Thank you very much. That's a very critical question because it touches at the core of the management of the funds that we raise and are intending to invest and reap benefits out of. So one of the things the University Council ensured that they place people with high integrity levels, senior citizens who have served this country exceptionally and have left no mark or sign of corruption, of unjust benefit to themselves through the use of public offices. And for example, the chair of the board is Dr. Margaret Chigozi. She served extensively as the first executive director of Uganda Investment Authority, boosted investment in this country, and she has done very many other things even up to now. And there's no one can come up to say she is this and that. And so this is what they did to ensure that, first of all, the public has trust in investing the money with the endowment fund. Secondly is the accountability mechanism. The accountability mechanism of the Makerere University Endowment is so thorough and robust in the sense that, first of all, there's no one who, apart from the board, they report to the University Council, but they're not accountable to the University Council. They only share with the University Council the performance of the fund as it is. So we do not have people overlooking the fund and trying to reap benefits out of it when they are unjust. So it is, we have put in place robust mechanisms, accountabilities, we are fully audited annually, and these accountabilities are shared with the University Council for easy accountability purposes. So the funds are secure, and there should be no cause for worry, really.
Well, if you're at liberty to reveal, since 2014
yes,
till today, how big is the fund?
Thank you very much. The Makerere University Endowment Fund has a corporate strategic plan in place to grow the fund. Currently, we stand at 10 billion Uganda shillings. 10 million? Billion? 10 billion Uganda shillings.
Oh, you're talking money.
Yes, we are talking big money because Makerere also needs quite an amount of sum. So, for example, in 2018, when we came up with this strategy, the fund was standing at 8 billion shillings. So up till 2023, we've raised 10 billion shillings. But the corporate strategy is looking to doubling this amount to 20 billion Uganda shillings by 2026. And we are going to take various mobilization strategies to ensure that we reach that 20 billion shillings by 2026. This is an amount the university really needs, that is relevant to the needs of the university, and we must work towards that goal to create 20 billion shillings by 2026.
Well, 20 billion shillings 2026, that's quite a hell lot of money if you can get to that. But then another concern is when we talk about the Makerere University Endowment Fund, most of the things you've mentioned here have not had an element of investment that brings back money. You know, most of these funds are or an element of a credit facility that maybe you know you're going to get interest on this money. Apart from saying we have, most of them seem welfare, a bit of social responsibility here and there. Then how would you intend to grow the fund?
Thank you. Thank you. That's a very good question because it talks to our investment strategy as a Makerere University Endowment Fund. We have two fund managers as an University Endowment Fund. One is called CAIM, which is Crown Agent Investment Management. Another is Genafric Asset Management. The CAIM helps us with our offshore fund. We have investments in the United Kingdom, which are pretty much in equities, but we also have onshore investments here in within Uganda, which are in form of government securities and bonds. So these are we believe, are very secure investments to make and have a guaranteed a return on investment, especially when we talk about government securities. If you've been in finance circles and whatnot, you'll know that government securities are the most secure debt you can have. So this is how we are choosing to invest this money. It is also strongly rooted in the university investment policy that guides our investment options, but also we made sure that we hire international reputable asset managers that will help grow this fund. But also I want to shed light on the fact that the university right now is investing quite an amount of money in this fund. For example, students pay 10,000 shillings every other semester to the fund, which speaks volumes to the intent and the intentionality of Makerere University to pretty much save money and invest it for sustainable financing of its operations.
Okay, at least I was waiting for that deduction or mandatory payment to this fund. Now, also, that said, let's look at how does one contribute, apart from those that are mandatory. We're talking about the alumni and maybe other people or organizations that would want to contribute to this fund, because it sounds to be a worth reason to give towards it. Most when you talk about the investment bit of it, and the fact that we've had a number of strikes in Makerere, and sometimes we thought maybe one of the courses there also is learning how to strike, because if students strike this month, then lecturers strike the other month. It's like they're doing tests who did it better. But that said, on a lighter note, so how does one contribute?
Thank you very much. Earlier, I spoke to the fact that we have put in place a software system called the Mark Advance system. This software system has a payment management system, a payment gateway through which alumni across the world can donate to Makerere University Endowment Fund. So this payment system allows you to contribute using mobile money, and you can access it on endowment. The site is on endowment.mark.ac.ug. You'll get donation options. You can pay via Visa, you can donate via EFT, you can pay via mobile money. So there is a sort of, and this money goes direct to our banks. It doesn't go to the system or that is run by Makerere. It goes direct to our bank account. So issues of accountability are dealt with, and also it's easy for someone to access and donate. So we call upon all alumni, the Makerere community. By the way, we're not even talking only the alumni. We have people who have grown up in the university. We have people who have served the university extensively. And so we call all of them. If Makerere has been a benefit for you, if you see Makerere being a strong tool in transforming this world, please step up and donate the University Endowment Fund.
I'll be going for a very short break. When I return, I and my guest, we are still discussing the Makerere University Endowment Fund that is there not only for investment but also for the welfare of the university. There I talk about teaching, non-teaching staff and students. I return.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
A new dawn on Behind the Headlines with me, Timothy Nyangweso. Every Wednesday, live in our studios in the heart of Kampala. We have conversations that have analysis, explanation, but not every truth is fact, and not every fact is truth. Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
Broadcaster, UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Step into the future of African coffee at the second G25 Africa Coffee Summit hosted by Uganda. The summit will be held at Speak Resort Munyonyo from the 8th to the 10th of August 2023. Heads of state from Africa's 25 coffee growing nations and coffee value chain actors will delve into the theme, Transforming the African Coffee Sector Through Value Addition. The summit is a defining moment for Africa's coffee growing nations. It's time to listen, innovate, and invest in Africa's coffee future, ignite the potential of African coffee. Organized by the Government of Uganda through the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries and Uganda Coffee Development Authority in collaboration with the Inter-African Coffee Organization.
Greatness is all around us. On pitches, fields, and playgrounds. At home and far away. It lives in the past, and it's in the faces we look up to, and in those we see every day. Greatness is all around us. It takes us beyond limitations, beyond possibility, beyond doubt, beyond expectations. The only question is, where will it take us next?
Juko.
Yo.
Wachikuwa. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model, PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a poultry project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
This perennial, as the name prescribes, is the project for restoration of livelihood in northern region. So it was designed to support the population in order to implement the national programs of wealth creation, improving household income, and this is done through supporting agriculture. And by supporting agriculture, you support seed production, training of farmers, mindset change, and even it went ahead to have components of food security grants, whereby families were given grants to be able to improve their food security. But there was also community-based natural resources grants, which were given to families to put in place woodlots, which would help them to reduce on killing the vegetation and deforestation, looking for energy or for firewood.
UBC is the national public broadcaster. We educate, inform, entertain, and inspire our audiences. You can watch us on free-to-air channel 001, DSTV channel 282, GoTV channel 371, Star Times channel 201, Zuku TV channel 20, and Azam TV channel 350. Even when your subscription expires, you can still watch UBC for free on your pay TV platforms.
So this is my general perception. One, that this project entered in strategic areas of government, but that it has created a base for the now last mile strategy, which is the parish development model. And therefore this base that it has left will help us actually, and I'm sure we'll get better results in a Chole area and Ajumani when we are implementing the parish development model.
Amaina gange nze Basile Benadi, radio officer Waituba A, Ituba B, Nachivengo, Chikokoli, obimu ku byalo Modo Village muzeyi de yasalawo okugayigawaza ng'atwala abantu mu bwavu. Atya muzeyi aje atuweereza ebintu ng'ente, embidi, ebigogo, mwogo, nanasi twagabira abantu abamuli okumpi.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
A new dawn on Behind the Headlines with me, Timothy Nyangweso.
Welcome back from that short break. Thank you so much for being with us on UBC TV. It is Good Morning Uganda Extra. Earlier on, I informed you that I'll be joined by Dr. Professor Maggie Chigozi, who happens to be the chairperson, Board of Trustees of the Makerere University Endowment Fund. And she's here with me. Welcome, Doctor. Thank you for making it.
Thank you very much. I am happy viewers. Good morning.
Now, we'll be a bit faster and allow me to go straight. Now, when you talk about the Makerere University Endowment Fund, established in 2014, as the chairperson, what was the vision for this fund?
Our vision is to grow the fund, but for a purpose, of course. At the end, it is to support the institution that we all love so much, that gave us so much. I'm a medical doctor. I could work everywhere. I could work in Zambia. I worked in Kenya. My certificate from Makerere, and right now I'm able to be employed and to continue being employed for so many years. So that is what Makerere gave us, and we are giving back. We, as the Board of Trustees, we have our jobs, we have volunteers, and we are here to try and make sure that the young children, those who are growing up, your children, your grandchildren, will find Makerere the way we found it. The institution that everybody can be proud of, that makes a difference in so many lives. And so that's why, you know, they brought it back in 2014. They brought us back, the Makerere Endowment Fund. I took over. It's now been a bit more than a year. And our role is to have money that can be used for critical things for the university that maybe government is not funding, donors are not able to fund. So scholarships for, you know, students that are not able to afford it. We need to be able to do research that is relevant to Uganda. Sometimes when you depend on donors, they are more interested in something else, but you really, as an expert at the university, you want to do this particular thing, and they won't fund it, and yet it's important to Uganda. So we come in infrastructure, we come in to support any program, but of course the fund is still small. Our first necessity is to grow the fund, to grow the fund. So I'm here to face my fellow alumni. You are out there. You are working because Makerere gave you what you need. Can you give back? Can you give back so that next generations, the present generation and the ones that are coming, can also benefit from good facilities? We want to see that the halls are good, that the food that is given is good, that there are enough classrooms that fit everyone. And so that is our vision, and our mission now is to collect the money from all sources, any source that we can get money from, and make it possible for our next generations to benefit from the ivory tower.
Now, 2014 till today, what has been the response of people towards sustainability, towards contributing towards this fund?
Unfortunately, I think the first years had no technology. We had limited technology. So really, the message has not gone out. It is now us working with the fund right now that are benefiting from, first of all, we are on UBC today. Hi, alumni out there. We are happy that you're listening to us, and we need you to register. At Mark Endowment, endowment.mark.ac.ug. Register so that we have you on the database. Secondly, we send you all the information about the university. And thirdly, you can talk to your friends. You know, your classmates, we have them. We have some of them already. And you persuade the others to join so that we can be together. And then lastly, if you have an extra 1,000 shillings, an extra 10,000 shillings, send it to us. We will invest it sensibly. We will make sure we have the mark advance system where the money that you give us goes straight to the bank. You don't touch it. Nobody touches it. So it will go straight to the account, and then we invest it sensibly so that it grows. We have investments in the UK. We have investments locally. All making an effort. We are hoping by 2026 we will have at least 20 billion. Right now we have 10 billion on the two accounts. We are hoping to have 20 billion, but also we are seeking other income generating activities. We have land that Makerere has land, we don't have land. Makerere has land that they've encouraged us to develop. Makerere has various projects that we are working on so that we bring in income. We have the shop. Would you like a memento? A lovely shirt, a hoodie, a bottle of, for tea, so many things in our souvenir shop. This is at the center?
Yeah, at the Frank Kalimzo Central Teaching Facility.
Yes,
on the ground floor.
Makerere, on the ground floor, Frank Kalimzo. But also it's online. So you can get a lovely hoodie and walk around proudly saying Makerere University, like we do.
Now, that was said, Doctor, issues of integrity, trust, transparency, 10 billion is not little money.
No, it's a lot.
If now it's what you have, yes. 20 billion by 2026 is a hell better much more than 20 billion. It's good money. And most of the challenges in a country where we are, yes. we've had accountability issues. So what measures have you put in place? What should guarantee the safety of the funds I'm giving? I may feel proud yes. and have the confidence that what I'm giving is safe, it's going for the right purpose.
Yes, and we want to thank Council. First of all, they selected the group that I chair, the Board of Trustees. These are people of stature, people who are known for their results in various businesses, in various institutions, and for their integrity. So I chair a Board of Trustees that includes the Vice Chair, who is Barnabas Musinguzi, a businesswoman, a strong businesswoman, among the best, Jennifer Mwijuche. We have from the very sector, Martin Owinyi, who comes from the sector. He's an expert in this area of funds and others. We have a member of, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Umar Kakumba, and we have a new member who's joined us fairly recently with some changes at the ministry. That is Nisima from, so he's represents the handicapped, the disabled, and he's a member of council. So we're therefore in connection with council all the time. So council oversees and can give us views and suggestions, but we look after that money. If they suggest something that doesn't make sense, we are going to say no. This is people's money and they've collected it for Makerere. And also, so we have that option, but we do seek their guidance and their permission to spend any of that money at any stage. Yeah, so your money is safe. It is going to do the right things. We have, since we took over, of course, in the past, it was Martin Alike, and it was very well managed. They placed the funds in the right places. But now we've taken over, so we have the systems where, and getting to you, we are communicating to you so that you know about the fund. And we are able to have this money go straight to account and make it very easy. You can use your Visa card, you can, any card, not just Visa. You can use mobile money, you can go to the bank and deposit your funds, and straight away they're on the bank and we get the report. We know who has put the money there, and we are truly grateful. So yes, they can depend on our integrity, and none of us really are likely to mess up.
Well, the confidence is there, people of integrity, like the chairperson I have this morning in the studios. She's one person I can say has served this country in various positions of leadership, so portfolio, and her linen is white, clean as snow. Thank you, Doctor, for that.
Thank you.
Well, now I want to go back to Karani now. Recently, there's something that caught my attention. That is the Legacy newsletter. And I was told this is part of the University Endowment Fund. How does this play as far as building the strength of the fund?
Thank you very much. So the Legacy is an e-newsletter that is pretty much profiling what is happening at the university, but also getting feedback from alumni on what great things are doing out there in the world. So one of our core initiatives is that we must create a connection between those who have left the university and those who are inside the university. So we want to update people out there. What are the groundbreaking innovations Makerere is working on right now? We want to update the universities on what the students are up to. What if they're at sports, what are they doing at the Africa University Games? What are they winning? So that the people outside are able to keep understanding and informed on what is actually happening within the university. But we also want to profile our alumni. Our alumni are doing great and amazing things all over the world, transformational things. People, some of them are doing vast work in health, in leadership, in governance. So we want to highlight what our alumni are able to achieve and also show why we need to invest in the students currently at the university. Thank you. So that is what pretty much the Legacy e-newsletter is about. To access it, you just have to get to our website, endowment.mac.ac.ug, and a lot of refreshing stories, insightful stories about what's happening around the Makerere community.
Well, Dr. earlier on, Karan talked about that you have the students, yes, they have that monetary contribution, but also he mentioned areas of investment.
Yes.
When it comes to investment, I'm very sure we have the right person. So what are some of those areas that you've invested this money and will really propel the fund?
Okay. Of course, the easiest way is what we are doing right now. We have the money invested by fund managers in the UK and fund managers in Uganda. And they are putting it where it will earn most, so that it grows. Of course, we did go through a bad phase of COVID, and now Russia war. So the last 2 years maybe was not, but we are hoping now it's getting better. And we will continue investing in safe areas like that. But we also have so many requirements. So we have we need funds to support scholarships, to support research, and so we have been given, projects that can be income generating. First of all, we looked at a donor project. We've already been successful. We have been given funds to put, what is it called?
E-learning center.
An e-learning center. So that's our contribution as the fund through UNDP, who have given us this e-learning center, and it is actually being put up at this point in time. And you can see how critical that is at this point in time when e-learning is the thing. Students are staying home and they're learning from home. So that's one that we have been successful in. We have buildings that we will be able to rent that to help the university. The university has not been traditionally good at using its assets to make money. Yes. They are often too generous, and then you have no funds to renovate. The problem with being generous is then you have no money to maintain the structures. So we have been given some buildings. We have been given a piece of land in India, very nice at the top of the hill, to see how we develop that. And we can get partnerships, we can lease it out. We'll find the best way. It's a big piece of land to be able to utilize it and make money. We are coming out to ask you to help us fund the student center. Those of you who were in Makerere, I don't think there are many of you at my time, we were very few, but even those who came a bit later, you remember our canteen. It was so central, but whenever any of us had any money, you go buy a drink, you go buy something, and next to it was the bookshop, also critical for a university. And they were destroyed in order to build that center, the
Frank Kalimzo Center.
The Frank Kalimzo Center. So we need a student center where students can go and have fun. They can dance. We used to dance, my age, in the main hall. But now the chairs are fixed in the main hall. So that is no longer a place where you can dance. So where are the young people dancing? They're having to go out of the campus. So at the student center, we'd have some big rooms for events like that. We could have sports, we could have banks, the bookshop, of course, and many other things. So we are fundraising as the fund for the Student Center. And the first event, well, it's been happened for the last 2 years, is the Mark Run. Have you talked about that already?
Briefly.
Briefly, okay. So the Mark Run, beginning of October, October 1st. Join us. Alumni, please, please. We have 400,000 alumni. You can run online. You don't have to be with us starting in Makerere. You can be online and just send us pictures, but make sure you get the Baganda quality mijozi, the t-shirt and the bottle of water. So contribute in that way. If you do that, that money will come to us at the endowment fund. And then you can be proud that you have contributed. So the Mark Run is our first event that's coming very, very soon. And we are targeting to make, you know, at least 300 million shillings towards the fund.
Well, we can take a whole day discussing this fund and of course calling upon you, but please give back to what made you today. And we believe Makerere University did that for you. Now, in the interest of time, Makerere, let me have your concluding remark.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to thank UBC for being this intentional about supporting Makerere University. We've always been publicizing our initiatives and giving airtime to what we think can grow our education sector within Uganda, and so we are so thankful for that. Finally, I want to urge all alumni and Makerere community at large. The endowment fund was set up so that we improve and domestically finance our university to meet our initiatives and also our desires as Ugandans and Africans. So it is important that we carry this burden together. It is important that we look forward to the future and paint what we want to see and actualize it. So I really urge the Makerere community to support us, and you can donate via endowment.mark.ac.ug. Get onto that platform. There's a donation option. Please support Makerere University Endowment Fund. Thank you.
Doctor, as we move out.
Yes, to our alumni, you've heard what Karani has said, join us. But on top of that, can you, your friends, this university is not just for us, the alumni. So friends of Makerere, friends who have benefited, a private sector, look at your employees. Most of them were prepared for you by Makerere University. So even if you are not an alumni, you are welcome to join the Mark Advanced system as a friend of the university. So together, let us make the university. In a few weeks, next year, early next year, we are graduating 12,000 students. 12,000. These are going to contribute immensely. And when I graduated, we were about 2,000, less than 2,000. President Idi Amin came and graduated us. He conferred upon us the degree of medicine. And now it's 12,000, all over a period of 5 days, because we can't do it in one day. And it could be even more. Your grandchildren, your children will benefit from the work we are doing. So join us. The Mark Run is here, run, but on top of that, don't have the time, just go to endowment.mark.ac.ug and contribute 1,000 shillings, 10,000, any amount of money you have. If you give us a large amount, we do have a wall of fame. A wall of fame. And at the moment, the top is 1 million shillings. And you can see that on the website. So if you want to be the top investor in the fund, just give a little more than 1 million and your name will come top again. All right?
Well, I understand Dr. Maggie Chigozie happens to be the board of trustees with a very big background in investment. Yes. And who wouldn't want to be at the well of fame? Exactly. So give as much as you can. And I think the bar even should be raised for Makerere University.
Yes.
Really not 1M getting you there. It should be about 10 million. It's the biggest, oldest university, and 1 million. No, doctor. That needs to be revisited. Well, I want to thank you so much for having been part of the show. And of course, anytime we'll be moving to Speak Resort Munyonyo, where His Excellency is expected to be the chief guest at the G25 Coffee Summit. Have a lovely day. For God and my country.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.